Now that is a crime against humanity. I was all ready to eat some veggies, but looks like lunch ain't happening for me today.
If you're a plus-size person and you're meeting someone you've been talking to on a dating app in person for the first time, send this to them. Hi, the person you're about to go on a date with is plus size. And if they've been FaceTiming you, they probably have been holding their phone up here and their arm is tired. They'd like to hold their phone down here like a normal person, but they're afraid of you seeing their double chin. They'd like to know you're still going to want to go on a date with them and accept them even with their double chin so they can rest their arm. This also means that their stomach is going to hang like this. It's not just their butt that's going to be big. My butt's not even that big, but it's going to hang like that. Maybe these aren't the best shorts. Almost like maternity, but different. Also, please don't say the phrase "it doesn't bother me" in reference to anything plus size about them, such as cellulite, rolls, stomach hang, etc. They want to know that you prefer those things, you delight in those things, and you think that they're gorgeous just as they are. Not just that it doesn't bother you. Put your listening ears on, because this is the most important thing. If they say anything about their fatness, do not say, "You're not fat, you're beautiful," because baby, you just blew this whole thing. If you're an insecure, arrested development adult, or you have a fetish for fat people, please save this person the time and just get out of here. Fat people have been through enough, I can assure you. Also, expect that they might look a little bit bigger in person than they do in their pictures. Like, you probably look a lot better in your pictures than you do in person. And if you're not attracted to this person, then just be clear and upfront. Nobody wants someone to be with them out of charity. I assure you someone else will come along and find them to be wildly attractive and like them just as they are. Other than that, have fun, be yourself, good luck, mwah, love from your plus size big sister.
Want to learn the ultimate way to get blocked and never hear from that special someone you're interested in? Well, this video is exactly what you need. Seriously, you never back down, huh? Not even from the very beginning when you're already embarrassing yourself all the way to the end. That's dedication, my friend. You know what? As an old fart millennial, I'm actually relieved because Gen Z seems to have to give out user guides on how to treat them properly before even going on a date. It's like satire has literally come to life, man.
It's been a while since we had this conversation, but in case we needed a reminder, the idea of clothing being flattering is inherently fatphobic. Bodies exist and fat bodies exist, and the fat on people's body exists. You are welcome to make the choice to try and hide it, minimize it, and do whatever you would like. You are welcome to wear clothing that accentuates the smallest parts of your body in order to make you look and feel smaller or feel flattered by the clothing. I do not have to do that. I simply have to be comfortable in the body and skin that I have. And in doing so, I get to wear clothing however I want to. There's an influencer on this app who I love and has a catchphrase that makes me so happy all of the time that says, "If it looks like you can fit it, then you better go and get it." Something like that. It's like a song that just plays in my head repeatedly. Which tells you that ultimately at the end of the day, you get to wear clothing however you would like to. And the only thing that a piece of clothing needs to do is fit you the way that you want it to. So before we make these comments, maybe stop and think about whether or not the person on the other side of the screen asked if the outfit was flattering. And if you don't like it, just move along.
Don't worry if your clothes aren't exactly flattering. We're a laid-back bunch here. You can even rock a Star Trek uniform, and we'll totally embrace it. No judgment, just lots of screenshots. Super tiny on her. I'm not even sure if she can get it off. The legend says she's still wearing it to this day.
If you're fat and you feel like showing somebody that you have good enough eating or exercise habits or that you're healthy enough will kind of get you out of jail free, it's not going to do that. Recently, I posted this video about how basically I don't think saying you won't date a fat person is bigotry if you're genuinely not attracted to fat people, but I think it is if you think all fat people are X way and that's why you won't date them. I said in the video, all fat people do not have the same lifestyle, so if you're looking for a healthy lifestyle, that's actually not a body size. And do you know what every single comment says? I think you do, but I'll say it anyway. Every single comment says, oh, fatness is actually a lifestyle. Like, every fat person eats too much, doesn't exercise, isn't healthy, blah, blah, blah. And if you are fat and you feel like you are healthy or you do eat well or you do exercise enough and you want to show those people, that is so freaking tempting because I am there right now. All I want to do is tell these people how much I work out or how much I eat or whatever. But here's the thing, it will never be enough for them. Because as long as you're fat, they believe you are inherently eating too much, not exercising enough. And the fact that you are fat means whatever you're doing is not enough and you should do more. So I could do a video of what I eat in a day and it would be perfectly modest portions and a normal amount of food, something that if a thin person posted it, all the comments would just be like, "Looks so good, I want some." And yet every single dude bro in the comments is gonna nitpick the shit out of it because they believe that being fat inherently means I am doing something wrong. And whatever I am doing, even if a thin person did the same thing and they thought it was fine, it must be wrong because I am still fat. It's like, sure, that amount might be okay to eat if you were skinny, but you're not skinny, and so you have to eat less so you'll become skinny, period. They care about you being skinny, not what you're eating, how you're exercising, or whether you're healthy. So this is a reminder to myself and anyone else watching that you cannot lifestyle exception your way out. It is about looks, period.
Hey there. It seems like your entire existence revolves around caring about what skinny folks think about you. Let me break it down. They ain't even thinking about you. Gotta be real with you. That ain't good. Seriously, seek some help.
Hi, it's Kayla, your fat positive therapist, and I've been thinking a little bit about how we lose so much of ourselves when we engage in dieting and restrictive behaviors. And I was being self-reflective and kind of thinking, like, from 3 to 20 years old, I was in a larger body. And then I engaged significantly in restriction behaviors. And that's when everything changed for me. So I stopped. Of course, I engaged in dieting stuff when I was younger, but I guess this was the first time I had done it independently without being under my family's tutelage or what have you. And I became so fixated, so intoxicated with this idea of fitting a social norm, which I had never had access to before, because it's extremely powerful, that I lost myself. Before that, I was super into my first 2 years of college. I was doing event planning. I was doing queer stuff. I was doing social justice stuff. I was doing all these wonderful things. And then when that happened, I stopped doing all of it. I just started focusing on working, restricting, and like kind of assimilating to culture. And I lost who I was for a really long time. And I was always trying to grasp back at this person, but whenever I was in restriction, I couldn't have any access to that human. And I haven't had full access to her until the last like 3 or 4 years. And now that all these things are coming back, all these passions are coming back, I'm like, wow, these were taken from me because of restriction and because of this fixation on the white, thin ideal. And it's rough, and it's rough for all of us. It's powerful. But if you give it up, you get to have your life back, your morals back, your values back. And that is really freeing. I hope you guys have a good day.
No.
Obese folks just don't get the concept of restriction. If they did, they could easily squeeze themselves out of that booth. If you just ate a bag of Doritos and you're craving another, that ain't really who you are. Your brain's been taken over by that super processed junk food. If you chow down on a plate of fried potatoes and you're already thinking about going back for seconds, don't stress. It's just your body reacting to your blood sugar going through the roof. Hey, as a human, you've got the power to make smart choices. So why not ditch that fork? You're way smarter than your cravings, my friend. Oh, and imagine a tattoo that says, "My impulses are actually smarter than me." Now that would be seriously body positive. I mean, like, is this girl actually talented, or is she, like, crazy smart?
So the other day, I had my first experience with airplane fat phobia. Basically, I got on this plane home. I was in one of the last boarding groups, so I was one of the last people to actually get on the flight. And I had a window seat, so there were 2 people sitting in the row next to me. And I walked up and I said, "Hi, I think this is my seat." And one of them goes, "Oh, Jesus," under his breath. Like, he's already very upset that I'm even here.
I'm not going to say who she is talking about, but I will give you a hint, it's me.
They both seem very annoyed and kind of grumble their way into getting up and letting me go to my seat, and then they get back in the seats. They make a lot of comments about, oh, I hope we'll be able to fit, or like, oh, it's kind of cramped, I'm really uncomfortable. And I'm just sitting there like, it's my seat, my guy, I don't know what to do. At one point, the woman sitting directly next to me starts looking for her seatbelt. I'm sure that's what she was doing, but she just kept shoving her hand in between the seats and inadvertently touching my stomach the whole time, and it made me very, very uncomfortable.
What was your stomach up to in that tiny space between the seats? No wonder the other passengers weren't too thrilled. Seriously, between? Mind-blowing.
Pretty soon, they end up waving down a flight attendant and being like, can we switch seats? And she said, maybe. She said the flight's pretty full, but she'll, let them know when everyone's on board and they've got everything accounted for. Once again, they're saying things like, oh, I hope it can happen. Just really hammering it home that they don't want to sit next to me. Eventually, the flight attendant comes back, gives them new seats, and they are so excited. They get up and they go, what a relief. Which leaves me crying because I had the audacity to be fat next to people on a plane. On the bright side, I got a whole row to myself, but God, at what cost?
At first, you had the audacity to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and in crazy, unhealthy amounts. And then bam, you face the consequences.
I don't know if any other fats do this, but I have a feeling it's a canon event. I used to be really insecure about my double chin, triple chin, whatever you want to say. And one thing I used to do often is grab this part of my shirt or sweater and pull it up. Like, babe, I look like an egg in the carton. All I have to say is embrace the chin. Embrace the chin.
Embrace the chin. No, the other chin, lower. Come on, man, work with me. Yes, the third one.
You don't need to lose weight. Please don't listen to those messages, because now it's that time of year. There's lots of weight loss messages. Please don't listen to them. They're all... Your body is perfect as it is today. Your body is worth taking up space. It's worth being celebrated. You are incredible. Please don't listen to that. Report those ads. Unfollow those messages. You do not need to lose weight.
This message is super inspiring. Count me in to support it.
Your body is perfect as it is today. Your body is worth taking up space. It's worth being celebrated. You are incredible. Please don't listen to that bullshit. Report those ads. Unfollow those messages. You do not need to lose weight.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You're not here to have a genuine conversation, but what's wild about these comments is you have no idea how I or any other fat person treats their body, because you can't determine someone's health or what they do by looking at them. I know that you love to villainize fat and super fat bodies, and that your favorite narrative is that people only get fat from overeating and not exercising, but what's wild is even if that's how someone gets fat, so there's nothing morally superior about being thin and eating less. Let's just get on that page together, for starters. Second thing, there are 1,000,001 reasons why somebody could be fat. And a lot of those fat people are perfectly healthy. And a large section of them who aren't are disabled and don't have control over their weight, maybe their food intake, or their measure of activity. There are also economic and racial factors in play, so stop making assumptions and leave fat people alone.
Excuse me?
Dude, you're totally stealing my mustache and it's making me feel so attacked. We can't both have a mustache. But okay, that's not even the main issue here. So once again, we've got this whole fat people are healthy, confident, and chill thing going on. But let's not forget that many of them struggle to walk upstairs, battle illness, rely on wheelchairs, and face imaginary oppression. You know what? Maybe having a manual on fat people wasn't such a terrible idea after all. Well, maybe not a whole manual, just a simple fat pamphlet. I'm up for it. I'll gladly take on the task of writing it. None of the dresses on today's show fit. I swear it's just a random coincidence.
Everyone out there, because I know I'm going to get some shit for this, I just want to say this, and I don't give a fuck. I will fight this to the day that I die. BLT's stupid! No!
I'd rather be dumb than chubby. But hey, you, my lady, are both I hope I totally messed up all those fat liberation ideas for you. If you're feeling free, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And even if you're not feeling free, you can still click that subscribe button.